Oh, hello, Mark Lanier with our video thought for the day. Tizzy and I have been discussing it, and we're enjoying this week talking about children in the Bible. This is by special request. By the way, you got a request. If you leave a comment, especially on YouTube, we'll pick those up, and I'll try and get to it in a thought for the day. So we thought today we'd do something a little different than we did yesterday. Yesterday we talked about Ishmael. It's a good video. Go find it. It's there. Watch it. See what you think. God hears the prayers of children. But today we're going to take a little different slant. I'm coming from, let's start in Joshua chapter 4. Now here's the background to the story. The Israelites have been set free from slavery in Egypt. Moses miraculously oversaw God parting the Red Sea. And the people knew Moses was a leader with God's hand because the Red Sea, water doesn't just part on its own. And so the people had a measure of faith and awe and respect for Moses. But there came a time where Moses was separated from the people and going off to die. And the people were going to be going into the promised land. And at that point in time, Joshua was their leader. Now the people knew that Moses had anointed and God had appointed Joshua to be their leader, but it's still kind of scary. I mean, they're losing the fella who was so tied in with God that he took them successfully out of the grip of Pharaoh, through the Red Sea, etc. So God told Joshua something. He said, I want you to take one person from each of the 12 tribes, because there were 12 tribes of Israel. I want you to take one person from each of the 12 tribes. I want them to go down to the Jordan River. And that's the river that the Israelites had to cross to go into the promised land. He said, go, each person, each of the 12 takes a rock. So there'll be 12 rocks for the 12 tribes of Israel. And I want them to carry those rocks over to, they took them to Gilgal, which was a town after they passed the Jordan River. And here's what happened. They collected the rocks as the priest's feet carrying the Ark of the Covenant. That's the chest that had the 10 Commandments in it and a few other things. As the priests carrying God's chest, their feet hit the Jordan River, the river parted, just like the Red Sea. And the people thought, we don't have Moses, but we've got Joshua, and clearly God is with Joshua. And so the people pass through, and they take their rocks, and they give them to Joshua, who builds them up into a pillar at Gilgal. And here's the reason why. God said to Joshua, your children are going to ask you, what are these rocks doing here? And when they do, you need to tell them about the works of the Lord. Now that's an awesome two-sided coin of responsibility. One side are children. It is right and good and holy and expected for children to be inquisitive about their faith and seeking information about who God is and why we are here and what we're doing. The other side of that coin is, it is incumbent upon parents to teach their children those things. And the key is, Joshua was told by God, you prepare the parents to do this. Parents need to know ahead of time. Now I want to fast forward before I close this off, and I want to go to the New Testament, to Matthew chapter 18. Jesus wants to make a point. And so Jesus calls out of the crowd a child and sets the child in front of his followers. And Jesus says, unless your faith is like the faith of a child, you're really spinning your wheels. But these children who in humility learn and seek and trust, someone who models that humility of a child will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And Jesus charges everyone to have the same seeking attitude about God that you find in children, and to have the same trust in God that you find in children. And as parents, or grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or adults, we need to not only be prepared to teach our children, but we need to be prepared to learn ourselves. So thought for the day, kids, seek out God and learn about him. Parents, teach about God. Be ready to teach about him because you seek him out and learn about him as well. Tomorrow's another Children's Day, but that's our video thought for today.